Hi, welcome to D2KSS. In the current video session, we are going to discuss about the Azure Repos. Azure Repos is a version control will be used to save your work and coordinate the code changes across the team. That is, in the team might be have different of the developers handling different of the components. When multiple team members is working in the same project files, then the team may require that they need to have a feasibility to check what code changes the developers has committed, like who has committed those changes, and they have a feasibility to revert the changes. For example, due to any issue the code changes is impacting the existing functionality, so they have to revert those code changes and has to fix that issues and re-implement those changes. And one more thing is, sometimes we may require to maintain the different branches. For example, there is a production issue which to be delivered as early as possible. But in the same way, there is a parallel multiple features been developing, new features been adding to the product. So these production bugs or the features cannot be delivered at the same time. We cannot wait until the features is implemented. That bug we cannot wait until the time. So that's the reason we need to maintain the different branches to commit those changes as a bugs or commit those changes as a features. So they have a set of delivered time to deliver those items. So repos all to address all those issues, the repos will help to commit your add your files, commit changes, push the files to the repository and get the files from the repository, etc. So now I'll show that how you can create a clone of this repository in your local. Either you can use this endpoint like URL to create the clone for this particular repository, or you can able to use this application like the VS Code tool to create the repository. So I'll show both processes. So first I'm going to show using the clone using the VS Code. So here you will have the multiple tools is available. You can choose the tool which is applicable to you. For the demo purpose, I'm choosing VS Code. Just click on the VS Code. It will prompt you to open the VS Code. So the file being opened. So it is telling that allow the extension to open the URL. So click on open. It will ask you which location you want to save that repository. So then I'll go to Azure Repos and training, and I'll create new folder is web 3 repository and select that repository destination. That's it. So open in a new window. You can see that the web application 3 don't have any files, so it is empty repository. So you can go to the folder and check over there and go to the training folder and web 3. Inside that you can find the web application 3 git repository. So repository has created for us. When you are login first time, for example, if this git credentials, so this git will have a credentials. If this git credentials is not stored into your machine, then it will prompt you to enter those credentials. So since I already done many times, it was not prompted me to enter those credentials. So other way is you download this git tool. So you can install this git tool. Just click on the download. So it will download you. So it is 32-bit or 64-bit. So the git tool has been downloaded. Since I already installed here, you can able to see that git bash cmd ui. So 3 types of components will be available under that particular tool. So you can use either one. So for now I'm going to use the git bash, very popular. So now I'll create git bash repo. So I want to differentiate how we created this repository. So I created a folder is git bash repo, and right click over there, get more options. When you install this git, you will get that three options: git UI. So git UI is you can able to do with the UI prompt. So you can create new repository or clone the existing repository. Just give the source location and the destination location and clone it. And one more way is git bash. So this will be a command prompt, so which you can able to clone those files. So what is the command you can use is git clone, and what you have to do is you just copy that URL what is available, the repository URL, and I have copied here and just dragging to make clear and paste it. That's all. So when you click enter, the cloning is started. So if you are doing first time, then you will prompt to enter the credentials. So you need to enter those credentials to clone this repository. Second thing here, once you clone, you can go back to the folder and see same repository is cloned to this git bash, and the first we use the VS code to get the clone of this web application 3. Maybe I'll change this folder as VS code repo. Since this is open, it was not allowing me to modify. I'll just close it. That's it. Okay, now we will use this git repo. So I'm increasing some font size. Okay, fine. So now we have cloned those files here. Now what we have to do is, under this repository, I want to add some solution. So for that, I'm going to use this command prompt in administrator mode. And here I'm going to inside this path, so taking directory of that path. So now we are inside the empty repository, web application C. Either you can able to do from here or you can able to do both, will be safe. So now what we are going to do is we are going to create the web app. So either you can able to use this Visual Studio to create that, or you can use the command prompt to create the web application using the .NET. So .NET new web app, and I will give the name is Azure DevOps demo. So application been created. Now you run that application whether it is running successfully or not. Okay, got it. So we need to go inside that. So Azure DevOps demo. Now you run that command .NET run. So now application started building, and once build is completed, the application will be up. So first time when you are doing run, it will take a while. So copy this endpoint, open the window. That's it. Application is up and running successfully. So now what we need to do is, for demo, I want to whatever the files has been created in this VS Code repo under this web application 3 repository, I want to commit these changes to the repository, to the web application 3 repository. So for that, what we are going to do is I'm going to open a git bash from here, git bash, and I'm going to change this 14. It is fine actually. So now what we are going to do is git initialization. So first we need to initialize, and then we need to add those files. So whatever the files under this folder, we want to commit those changes. So under web application 3, I want to commit those changes. So first step is you need to add all those files, git add. So files are all been added. Then we want to commit those files. So next step is git commit -m and give the comment is initial commit. So since this is my first commit, I'm giving this as initial commit. So all those files being committed, you can see here what I have executed. The command is git commit -m the comment. So what is the comment we so this is for tracking. So always it is recommended to give a meaningful comment when you are doing a code changes. And then what we have to do is you have to push these changes. So now we committed and we go and check here whether the files has came to here. No, still it is empty repository, no files been found here. What we have to do, the files to be appear here, what we have to do, we have to push these files to the master. So git push origin master. So now once this push completed and refresh page, see whatever we committed into this folder Azure DevOps demo, that particular solution will appear in the web application 3 repository. So what we did, I'm recollecting all those steps which we have performed to push those files into the repositories. First we initialize the git into the web application 3. Then under that web application 3, whatever the files been available, we added into the git. So what the command have been executed here is git add dot. Once the files been added to the repo, we will commit those changes using the git commit, git commit -m, and this is a comment. I will show you how this comment will appear in the Azure DevOps. Then once we commit that, we need to still these code changes in local only. It was not moved to the repository. What we have to do is we need to push that changes to the master. So where is the master is? So this is the master repository, like a master repo. So the branch when we created by default, it is a master repository. So then what we did is git push origin is master. So we push to the master all those code changes. So now the changes came and you can see these commits is just now I have been committed these changes. Initial commit. So where I have given a comment, you can see here git commit initial commit. So this is the how I have committed the changes, and you can see that what files have been added. When you click on that commit, whatever the commits we have made it, just click on that. You can see what are all the files, what is the code changes, etc. items and pushes. So this is the changes we have pushed to the repository. And if you go branches, only master is there. We did not create any new branches. And I will talk about this pull request little while. So these are all the files. When you push to the repository, you can able to see the files, whatever here it is there, you can able to see those files here. So this is how you can able to push those files. So now I want to pull this data, pull these files, whatever the files I have been pushed to here, I want to pull into my local again. How I can do is, for example, where we committed these changes is under VS Code repo. So we file these files we added into this repository, but git bash still it is showing empty. So I want to sync up. Just imagine that this folder, for example, these two folders is available in different machines. So I am the person as a developer, I committed these changes. So this is my colleague's machine folder, which he has to sync up the changes what I have committed to the repository. How he can do is just right click on it, go to the git bash, and here you can execute a command is git pull. That's it. It will pull all those changes to local. So whatever the files we have been committed here is already pushed to, pull to the our local file. So that's how when multiple team members is working. So just treat these two folders as two different machines. These two folders has two different machines. Then first I committed these code changes into this particular folder, and I pushed the changes into the repository under the DevOps. Then the second step is might be it is for the different developer. Git bash is using by different developer. He has pulled the changes just using the command is git pull. So he can able to get those changes. So that is how you can able to do that when you want to pull those changes.